do is do the right things. I never wanted to be the king. All I ever wanted to do was save your life. I never wanted to grab a knife. I If I lose it all, slip it all, I will never look away. If I lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. If I lose it all, outside the wall, it's to die another day. I don't want anything just to tell. All I ever wanted to do is know what's out there. I refuse to lose me that I fight so wrong, yeah. Just too young, we can only take innocent. Like can't stay up for 19 and 10, oh yeah. Cry to yourself, oh yeah. Nobody knows what's inside of me. Nobody knows what's inside of me. Nobody knows what's inside of me. If I lose it all, slip and fall, will you laugh at me? If I lose it all, lose it all. If I lose it all, slip and fall, I'll never look away. If I lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. If I lose it all, outside the wall, to die another day. I don't want anything but just to take.
Hello, this is Godzilla here. Welcome to the final video of Godzilla Month. And today, for the final Godzilla video, I thought, you know what? It's time to end this once and for all. It's time to figure out which Godzilla movie is my favorite. Now, I've been on this for like a year, and I've been saying this in every server, Discord server that I'm in, everywhere on the internet, that I don't know which one my favorite. It's basically like a meme. It'll be like some days Godzilla Minus One will be my favorite. Other days Godzilla Final Wars will be my favorite. It goes back and forth. So to end it all, we are gonna figure out which one's my favorite. It'll be something similar to old versus new, but instead of old versus new, it's gonna be like similar point systems. Do an old versus new from the Soldier Critic. It'll just be me talking about characters, which one had the best characters, which one had the best plot and story, which one had the best monsters, which one had. I forgot the points. I forgot. which one had the best characters, which one had the best story, which one had the best Godzilla, which one had the best monsters, and overall, which one had and which I forgot what it was. I think it was story and plot, characters, main character, Godzilla, and I forgot. Give me a sec. I gotta look up an old versus new. All right, I have to look it up. So we're gonna do it similar. Best, which one had the best supporting cast? Which one had the best main character? Which one had the best story and plot? Which one had the best Godzilla? And which one had the best monsters in it? Even though I'm technically cheating with that one. Okay, yeah. So supporting cast, main character, story and plot, Godzilla, and monsters. So yeah. With that said, let's get to it. We're gonna start off with which one had the better main character, and yeah, this is easy right here. Okay, fine. Let me go into detail. Ozaki is a alright main character, but he's not really interesting when it comes to Godzilla. When it comes to main characters in Godzilla films, like think if you think of main characters, you think of the most iconic ones like Akane, um, Hadito, Oz, Had, Hadito, Hadito, the the love interest for Hadito. I think that's his name, and some characters from the show era and Mickey and like you think of those main characters, and Ozaki is an alright main character. Just it's just that there's nothing to him that stands out, which is kind of the point. Like you're not supposed to be invested. You're supposed to have fun with the movie. I can understand that, but when it comes to -1, oh my god, that main character. I would just want to know. I'm just wondering what's his story, everything that I need to know about him. I'm so invested in that main character. Like, yeah, there's no question. Um, it's obvious. The main character goes to Koichi. Like, come on, that guy is. I like to know his story, and apparently he suffers through PTSD. And okay, granted, it's not the first character to suffer through PTSD. Technically, Akane did suffer through some PTSD. It wasn't as bad as Koichi's PTSD. It was when I'm talking about PTSD for Akane, I mean mostly PTSD that she doesn't want to live anymore. That's kind of helps with PTSD. That kind of symptoms of PTSD. She has symptoms of PTSD. She sort of has PTSD, kind of, not really. Sort of has PTSD, but it's mostly when it comes to PTSD for Akane, it's mostly PTSD dealing with trauma. And Koichi actually does have trauma from the war and fighting for so long. And you can see it throughout the movie that he is just fighting, that he still has a war left with Godzilla. And yeah, I'm just so invested in that character. Like, yeah, yeah. I'm just invested in him. So the main character goes to Koichi. So 1-0. -1's got the lead. Now, which one had the best supporting cast? Huh. I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I should probably start running. Uh Final Wars. Better run. Nope. Better run. I had to. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out before you throw your pitchforks at me. Before everybody comes at me for saying that Final Wars had the better supporting cast. Hear me out. Hear me out. There is nothing wrong with the with the supporting cast of minus one. I love the human cast of minus one. However, it's those. It's just those two main characters. Those two characters from the supporting cast, Don Fry and Eds, just steal the show. They just steal the show and make and outshine most of the cast from minus one. Like those two characters alone just take the win. Like Don Fry as Captain Gordon is, oh my god, it's and let's not forget the other characters. They're so recognizable in the movie. Like they're so fun and they throw some jokes. I'm just so invested in this cast. Like they're funny. They're actually legitimately funny. First time in a Godzilla movie, we actually laugh at the jokes, at the cheesy one-liners, at the jokes in the movie. Minus one, yes, it has a serious song. The supporting cast is pretty good. It's really good. I actually enjoy the supporting cast of minus one. Like, but here's the problem. I always can't remember their names. Like they legit have nicknames for like three of the cats. Like legit, one of the nicknames is Cap, Doc, and Kid. That's pretty bad when you can't even say your name because your name is so hard to pronounce. Like I understand it was easier to help the audience figure out who they are, but guys, come on. Can you at least just say them? Like, I'm not kidding when I say this. They called him Doc, Kid, and Cap most throughout the entire movie. They barely say their any. They actually barely say their names. Like they legit called them Doc, Kid, and Cap throughout the entire movie, which kind of brings them down, in my opinion. It's not that they're bad or anything. They're actually really good characters. They're really good characters. I actually enjoyed their characters. I enjoyed what the relationship and the friendship with, well, not relationship. I mean the friendship with Koichi. That is weird. The friendship with Koichi and how they go a bond from working together for 2 years, and um, huh. And that little girl actually does really help. She does really. Actually, now thinking about it, huh? That's probably a little bit too dramatic, huh? Hmm. I might have to overturn this vote. Sorry, sorry, Final Wars. It looks like another point goes to. Da, 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 da. I'm sorry, Final Wars. I'm sorry, Final Wars. Now thinking about it, yeah, I made the wrong choice. It's time to go back on my word. Sorry for making some of you grab your pitchforks. Are we good? Okay, okay. Um, Now thinking about it, even though Eds and Don Fly will always be one of my favorite characters in any Godzilla movie, just but some of the supporting roles in Godzilla minus one are really really interesting. Like I'm so invested in these characters that yeah, I think minus one takes the point for supporting cast. Now thinking about it, now thinking about it of how interesting they are and how invested I am into the characters. Don't get me wrong, the Final Wars cast is pretty interesting, but they're just there for fun, just there for eye candy. They're not really there's not really much to the characters. They're just news reporter, doctor, doctor lady, rival to Ozaki, who helps him out and goes to a character arc, and then the two supporting characters who outshine the rest are Don Fry as Captain Gordon and X. X for crying out loud. Every time I watch X, I just have a fun just hearing him out. So another point goes to, but anyway, another support point goes to supporting cast because now thinking about it, yeah, I might have to overturn that vote. Sorry, nope. Sorry, Final Wars. Looks like another point goes to Guts to -1. Boop, boop. Now on to story and plot. Well, get out your pitchforks again. Huh. Yeah. You might be surprised with this one, but story and plot goes to Final Wars. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. There is no plot in Final Wars, but I think that's kind of the point. The plot is that it's bonkers. It's fun. It's just nonstop fun, and you're in for the ride. -1 does have a good story, but I think that third act does kind of drag on a little bit too much. I wish the movie should have been. I do agree with Rob from ETN that the movie should have been cut down a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, like maybe have a shorter running time because the plan does drag on a little bit too much. Like I feel like this movie could have been like an hour and 50 minutes at most. Like you could have cut down the plan a little bit more. Like we didn't need to hear the entire plan. Like I don't know, cut down some scenes a little bit. I don't know. Like we didn't need to hear like the entire plan, every step that takes to the plan. Even though it is interesting on how they take this plan and every step that comes towards the plan, it does drag on a little bit too long. No offense to the movie, the plan is still good. The third act is still good. It's just that third act, it goes on a it goes on a roller coaster and then it goes on a wave. It goes on a roller coaster and then it just goes on a wave. Just a straight line. It doesn't go down, in my opinion. It just goes and then straight line. Yeah, just a straight line. Yeah, because it's not really a down. It's just not really a slope. It just goes on a straight line, and there's nowhere to go from that Ginza attack. The best scene in the movie, the Ginza attack, with so much devastation to the Godzilla attack. Like that Ginza attack is probably the best scene in the movie. Is my personal favorite scene, and just him and just Godzilla shining. Yeah, but anyway, that point, story and plot goes to -1. I mean, not -1. Story and plot goes to Final Wars. So 2-1. Now on to which one had the better monsters. Okay, that's technically cheating because Final Wars has more monsters and Godzilla only has one. So, yeah, Final Wars. So 2-2. All right, now we're gonna add. I'm gonna add another one in here. Which one had the better effects at the time? Obviously, fine. Obviously, Final Wars had some really cool miniatures, really cool sets. However, the special effects in Godzilla Final Wars are just amazing. So, hmm, yeah, special effects. like, come on, it got Academy Awards, so special. That's a first for Godzilla film. It first for the 70 years of Godzilla that it got an Academy Award. That is a yeah, that just blows my mind. But yeah, special effects go to -1. So 3 and 2. Now on to which one I think had the better, which one has, and on to the next point. Which one is more watchable and more, it has more nostalgia? I'm sorry, -1. You're not quite there yet when it comes to nostalgia because nothing will ever give away, nothing will ever top that movie experience that I had at watching -1 for the first time. Like watching that move, watching Godzilla -1 for the very first time in theaters, it's something else. I saw it on day one, and it was a nighttime showing, and that theater was packed. It was packed to the teeth. Like there were only like everybody behind me was the seats were filled. Like everybody behind me had seats. Like everybody, the theater was packed, and there were only like 2 rows left, and that was both in the fronts. Like those 2 rows were. Actually, no, I think those rows were taken later on. I think it was like only the first row in the front that didn't have no seats. So that theater was packed to the max. And that theater, and just hearing the audience, quite just complete silence. Nothing from the audience. It just complete silence. Everybody's watching the movie. It's just complete silence. And when the audience and when someone screams, the audience screams, and everybody just gets a reaction. This audience was so captivating, and by the end, everybody applauded the movie. Like it was so good that nothing will ever beat that audience experience, except for maybe when the sequel or the second film comes out. And the Godzilla film comes out. Whenever that comes out, when that film comes out, the next Godzilla film, nothing will ever capture. When that film comes out, maybe the audience will be the same. You know, it'll be packed. Who knows? But nostalgia for Godzilla Final Wars. I'm sorry, it just has more nostalgia for me, mostly because of the journey that it took to find that DVD. Well, I got the Blu-ray now, but I remember this vividly. Like we scout, like I told mom, can we get Godzilla Final Wars? Like she either just said no, we'll get it next time, and then next time we went to the Walmart, it was gone. All copies were gone. All the copies to Godzilla Final Wars were completely gone. We had to look everywhere to find these. We went to the Blockbuster, didn't have them. Went to, and this is when Blockbuster let you buy movies. And we tried to buy a movie from Blockbuster, but they said it didn't have any more copies. So I had to go to we had a video store that we used to go to. But guess what? In Virginia, there was a video store in Virginia that we used to go to all the time. They didn't have Godzilla Final Wars. They didn't have it at all. And my mom asked, "Do you have Godzilla Final Wars?" Nope. They said they're all out of copies. So we legit scoured every store just to find it, just to find Godzilla Final Wars. And then there was this one store in the mall, this one store that had a copy. But here's the catch: it was the last copy, and they were about to sell it. It's like, oh no! And it's like, wait, can you please hold the copy? And I went with those, with that 5-year-old, with that 4-year-old me eyes, like, please, can you keep the copy? Please, I want to watch it. And the cook and my mom just looked at me, and we like, please, can you keep it on hold? It's like, I'll do my best. And thank you to whoever that clerk was in that register working at, because yeah, he kept it on hold for an entire week. We paid and we got that Godzilla Final Wars. He made sure, and what made it even better is that was the last copy in the store by the time we came back a week later. That was the last copy in the store, and all the copies that they came in stock, they were all sold out. So he kept that on hold for us. So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I remember it vividly. Yeah, but we got the copy of the DVD, and yeah, and just watching it for the very first time, it was a relief. It was everything I hoped for, everything I wanted in a Godzilla film. It was it had so much nostalgia, and what's funny about it is like, can we watch it again? Like, sure. And I kept on watching it and watching it and watching it. I watched that film all nights, to put it frankly. I watched that film on loop all night, and I was so. I think this is probably my most rewatched Godzilla film. Period. Like, this is my most rewatched Godzilla film. Like, rewatchability and nostalgia for me. Yes, -1. Yes, -1 can be watchable, but you have to be in the right mindset to watch it. While Godzilla Final Wars, you can be in any mindset. You can have, and you can watch the film and have fun with it. So nostalgia, it's kind of leaning more towards Final Wars. So that point goes to Final Wars. So we're 3-3. Now it's time for the tiebreaker. Which one had the better Godzilla? Hmm. This is gonna be tough because I know people will say, but don't you like Final Wars better? It's like, yes, I do. But the stuff that minus Goji, okay. When it comes to design, Godzilla Final Wars takes the win. But when it comes to character of the Godzilla, when it comes to Godzilla in general, it's kind of leaning more towards Godzilla -1 because yeah, hmm, -1 does take the win when it comes to character because his character is so he's motivated by vengeance for what they did to him for the bombing that they thrown at him. He's motivated. He's a vengeful monster, and he's got a little bit of Heisei in him. He's a tragic monster, and you can just see it in his eyes that he's alone. He's all alone. He's the only one of his kind, and the first of his kind. When like, come on, look when he looks up at that bomb, that bomb that he just created, he realizes he's the first of his kind. And yeah, Godzilla in this movie is just so scary, and my bunch, and I was like, my legit reaction to the Jaws scene was like, two when the boat chase, I went like da 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 da, and then all of a sudden I went like, oh shit. I was trying to whip off the jaw scene, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit. And then I believe that first attack that was in Godzilla, the Godzilla source attack, the very first scene where we actually see the Godzilla source and Godzilla, that first attack went kept my bunch crunch, and yeah, that scene was so scary because the soldiers were so puny compared to this Godzilla. And yeah, I think. However, the biggest issue that I have with this Godzilla is not really the character. It's mostly a little nitpick. It's just the dorsal plates look oddly placed on the design. Like, they look weird. They in some shots they look small. In other shots they look weird. It's like the inconsistent throughout the movie. Like, it's really hard to figure out what the dorsal plates actually look like and what they look like. Like, even on toys and figures, it's still hard to figure out what these dorsal plates actually look like because There are so many variants to the dorsal plates. Like no one can figure out what the dorsal plates. It's inconsistent in the movie and on figures of what Godzilla minus one's dorsal plates actually look like. So yeah, the I don't know what they look like, to be honest, because of how inconsistent they are in the film. Like they legit change throughout the film. Meanwhile, Final Goji does have consistent dorsal plates, but they're um, pretty short. So which one do I give it to? Hmm, this is going to be tough because I have so much nostalgia for seeing Final Goji, but yeah, hmm, huh, that's going to be really tough. Okay, hmm. I'm sorry, Final Goji. Please forgive me. I'm sorry, my boy. You must forgive me. But hmm, the winner is -1 Godzilla for one reason. He has the better character. He has a better personality. He has a better personality than. Don't get me wrong. Final Goji's personality is pretty cool. He's a badass. But -1 Godzilla is so scary, and you know he's a threat, and there's nowhere you can run, nowhere you can hide. You are screwed if you are in his path. You are dead if you are in his path. Final Wars, yeah, he's technically the hero, well, anti-hero of his film, but -1 Goji is such a unique monster and such a villain that he does not care who you are. He will destroy you and kill you. Like he legit crushes people throughout his attack. He swipes away a building. He legit says, "Oh, well, oh." He swipes away a building with people in it, and then he legit walks past news reporters. Is like, and he walks past them, and then when he thought they were safe, nope, he hits them with his foot, a little shove with his foot, and knocks down the building. Yep. So yeah, he does not care who you are. He will kill you, and you are not safe. However, yeah, the point goes to -1. So the winner of this contest is -1. Yes. Well, at least for now, because any day these movies can be my favorite. Like, like any day these movies can be my favorite. -1 Godzilla can be my favorite, and -2 can -1 Godzilla could be my favorite, and Godzilla Final Wars could be my favorite someday. Either one of these movies could be my favorite on any day given the opportunity. Like they're both so good that I can't choose. Like Godzilla Final Wars have so much nostalgia, and -1 is probably the best Godzilla movie that ever is and still is. However, Godzilla -1 takes the win, at least for now. At least for now. But anyway, this is another sign off. And remember, stay big, G fans. And this ends the Godzilla Month videos. See you next year for Godzilla Month 2025. Yeah. Alright, bye.